served it with pride. And right now we feel our country is in distress. That is why we are flying tonight, no doubt. We're going to read from the Citizens Warrant for the immediate arrest of George W. Bush and Richard B. Cheney. As former members of the armed services of the United States of America, we swore to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Upon discharge from service, we did not renounce that oath, which remains our sacred duty. It has long been apparent to us that the Constitution is under attack and has been deliberately and relentlessly undermined by domestic enemies. Indeed, our highest government officials who have took and violated that same oath. Many constitutional crimes have been committed by the Bush administration, including warrantless electronic surveillance of American citizens in violation of the Fourth Amendment, failure to provide due process rights in violation of the Fifth and Sixth Amendments, infliction of cruel and unusual punishment in violation of the Eighth Amendment, call that torture, usurpation of powers granted exclusively to Congress in violation of Article 1, Section 1, and violation of Article 6, Paragraph 2, which states that all international treaties to which the United States is a signatory are the supreme law of the land. All this has been violated. The laws prosecuted by the Bush administration in our name with our national resources are violations of all treaties defining international rules of law, including the United States Charter, which uniformly prohibits laws of aggression, as violations of the institutional and violations of the international covenants and pledges. They also constitute high crimes against the United States Constitution. Will George Bush and Dick Cheney please step forward and surrender themselves?
Right about that.
Surrender!
Furthermore, the illegal occupations of Iraq and Afghanistan and other war crimes, including torture and use of, and hear that word, torture in your name, including torture and use of international prohibited weapons such as depleted uranium, which lasts for millions of years, violate the Geneva Convention of 1949, thereby further violating the supreme law of our land. We call for George Bush and Dick Cheney and his cohorts to be arrested and taken to trial at the International Court at The Hague. Our oath compels us to issue a citizen's warrant for the immediate arrest of George Bush and Richard Cheney, President and Vice President of the United States. We call upon President Bush and Vice President Cheney to surrender themselves to federal law enforcement authorities or to any private group of Americans that is prepared to make these citizens' arrests. The right of citizens' arrest is deeply grounded in English common law and is constitutionally protected under the Ninth Amendment, derived from the natural right of self-defense and defense of others. A citizen's arrest is valid when arresting citizens have a reasonable belief that the suspect has committed a felony. I think we have a reasonable belief. What do you all think?
Arrest George Bush! 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 Arrest George Bush!
We believe that felonies of great magnitude have been committed, and the evidentiary basis of these are conclusively established in the public record. We charge these officials with conspiracy to commit genocide against the citizens of another sovereign state, with conspiracy to commit mass murder of American citizens by waging a fraudulently justified war and other high crimes. We will seek extradition for trial in the International Criminal Court at The Hague, Netherlands, following trial in the United States for treason and other high crimes against our constitutional government. This, what we say here, can and must become a reality if the United States of America is to survive as a country that's based on freedom and democracy. We have become a dictatorship. We must also end the war in Iraq, end the occupation.
Now! Arrest George Bush! 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 End the occupation! End the occupation! End the occupation!